Hello, this is Judy Bertelson reading my poem, Some Filaments of Gratitude and Regret. I'm sorry that I can't look within and see the unmoving center. I'm sorry that I couldn't stop the Vietnam War and that all the things I've tried to fix are still moving around. Thank you, wind, for undulating the sycamore branches slowly back and forth, while simultaneously wiggling the leaves. I could watch that all day. Like the waves at Muir Beach, crashing over and over and over in varying sizes and tempi. That reminds me of Laszlo Varga's return to the San Francisco State Orchestra decades ago after a month of intensive work in Hawaii, premiering a cello composition after the scheduled soloist's arm fracture, and telling us he'd had only a few hours free, and he went to the beach, and while lying on the sand in the sun, it occurred to him that all his tempi were too fast. Thank you, Lazzi. That's not his real name, I just made that up. For telling us. I'm sorry we weren't able to slow down the tempo of the Shostakovich. It was so hard, and we could only play it at the speed we had learned, except for the timpanist. I remember the timpanist, with his eyes glued on your baton, while the rest of us played madly out of control. I'm sorry that I have to go in now and watch the Democratic candidate debate on TV. Thank you, little fig tree, for growing all those lobulate leaves and the tiny figs now appearing. Thank you for also being visible through my window. I hadn't noticed you before, but now I see you very clearly.
Hi, this is Brian Martins, and I'm reading a poem for the Marin Poetry Center, and I appreciate their doing this offering. This poem that I wrote is called These Hands. These worked hands, warmed by the first cup of tea in fog-held light. These hands have been building, cutting lumber and wood, crating, and they are tired. I think of the mythical figure of Jesus and his craft of a carpenter. What did he make? The craftsman of men, women, children, the infirmed, and the blind. It is said that all the craftsman had to say was walk, and the crippled would walk. Open your eyes, and the blind would see. Or his hands touching water to make wine. Now that is a craft. That is miracle. I imagine Jesus talking to a pile of lumber to become a chair and the miracle happening there. The lumber organizing all by itself. How does this happen? And why can't it happen again? The carpenter said to his co-workers that when I am gone, you will do much more fantastic miracles than these. What is a miracle? From the second college edition of the American Heritage Dictionary, an event that appears unexplainable by the laws of nature, and so is held to be supernatural in origin or an act of God. An event that appears unexplainable by the laws of nature, and so is held to be supernatural in origin or an act of God. From the Latin miraculum, to wonder. Amazingly, 2 words down in this dictionary is the word mirage, something that is illusory or insubstantial. From the Latin mirari, to wonder. Is not every day in this universe a wondering, a wonder? Do magicians create miracles? All these acts of Jesus, the saints, and anyone who leaves us in a state of wonder, are they not a miracle worker? Are they not a miracle worker? Nurses, doctors, artists, all people who create. What can I call this world? What can I call this world, this life right now, when it is full of wonder? Is it not a miracle? Is it not a holy miracle? Thank you.
My name is Janetta Miller. The poem I'm going to read is called Missing Couple. At first, we know them only by what they leave behind: cell phones, wallets, water bottles, a half-eaten bagel, 3 sons, 2 lifetimes of writing and research, last seen Valentine's Day afternoon. The missing couple we've never met keep us awake at night, making up stories that make sense of their absence, their silence, their moonless exhaustion. Search and rescue become recovery. Attention turns from trail to bay. And when they can no longer be alive, 2 searchers and a dog find them on an unseasonably mild morning beyond any reasonable range. Backs braced against a mossy log, bloodied and shaking with cold, 8 times, chilled to the bone. Night falls so fast in the woods, so easy to get fooled by a deer trail that leads into heartbreaking brush. They used his tall body as a bridge over the impassable, crawling and hauling, found and trusted a muddy puddle, washed down a few fern tips. They left behind her shoes, his glasses and hearing aids, controlled by the undergrowth. They let go of where they were and where they should be. They were just a missing couple, making love last a little longer. Thank you.
Diane Lee Mumey, April 2020. Wild geese fly the 101. Not quite on these 4 lanes north and 4 south plus median, but above it. A ragged line, its leader purposefully beating wind, long neck reaching, heading east along the exit ramp to Bayfront Park. Cousin geese wait there, surely. Enough to make a quorum, enough to form the necessary V for the voyage south. Silent geese, these. What with the tires' hiss and thumpings over potholes, what with the whistle of winds around my half-downed window, black beaks seem nearly open. But oh, I know they are honking. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Peggy Schimmelman. I'm reading my poem, Mojave Moon. I shudder at the thought of a coffin, buried deep beneath a tombstone etched with my essential earthly achievements. Born, died, loving wife and mother, a teacher and a little-known writer. How dreary to wait in a graveyard for karmic reassignment or the call of the 7th trumpet, surrounded by bones and worm-chewed flesh. A newcomer to starlit soirees hosted by restless apparitions of departed neighbors and friends. Imagine the boredom as nights on end they debate God's intentions, mull over memories, bemoan their sins and regrets. No, release my soul to the desert. Let me soar like an angel enchanted by that ancient Mojave moon. I'll commune with coyotes, jackrabbits, geckos, iguanas, and Joshua trees. I'll sway to the drum beat of Shoshone Indians. Shamans dance with the spirits of Serranos, Kawiyas, Graham Parsons, and moon-drunk, peyote-stoned hippies. It's not that I'm itching to ditch this town, but we cross only once that mysterious, inevitable threshold. If I must take death's arm, why not let it lead me to exotic other worlds where I can speak a new tongue, sing unfamiliar songs, and meet some interesting new people? Thank you for listening.